Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's hop right into this. The movie's good, it's funny, it's charming, it has pretty good pacing, not necessarily a good villain, actually he's pretty bad, but he doesn't overshadow everything else that's good in this film. Alright, let's talk about the things I didn't like, because there's actually not a lot. Like I said, I didn't like the villain because he's so surface level. There's nothing to him. He's just evil. That's pretty much it. I mean, if it wasn't for Malekith, then he'd be the worst villain in the MCU. But hey, second worst ain't that bad too, I guess. Another thing that bothered me, it wasn't necessarily even something I didn't like. It was just that some of the jokes are now kind of dated, so they didn't land as they would have in 2014. But hey, most of this movie is still pretty funny. Something I hated in this movie: Nebula. I will never like Nebula. She's annoying. There's no redeeming Nebula. She's a piece of shit. I think that's pretty much it for everything I didn't like. Let's move on to the things I think this movie did great. I think they did the main characters great. I mean, everyone is so unique in their own way, right? Rocket's more vindictive, questioning everything, right? And he's more critical on everything. Peter Quill's more funny. Gamora's more calculated. She's very talented in mixed martial arts, right? Everyone has their own unique thing, but Drax kind of annoys me just a little bit here. He does have his moments, right, where he talks about his family and all that, but just sometimes, like when he called Ronan to come kill him, that shit was kind of annoying, but it was meant to annoy the audience, so it's not that much of a big deal. But I think the characters were great in their own unique way. They all brought something new to the table, and it's really refreshing to see, honestly. In my opinion, two characters really stood out here, and that is Peter Quill and Rocket Raccoon. I also did want to mention that this movie had a lot of beautiful scenery, like when Star-Lord leaves his ship to go save Gamora and the back is all green and he floats out into space. That shit looks good. It looks beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful shots throughout this movie that I would watch this movie just to see those shots. Another thing this movie does really good is seamless exposition, and what I mean by that is that we get exposition, but it doesn't seem forced at all. Like when we learn about the Infinity Stones, but we're learning about the Power Stone. It helps develop this story and future stories later on. We can also see this when Gamora gets taken into prison and we get exposition about Thanos, and then he comes out kind of a little bit too purple for my liking, but hey, he was pretty cool. The exposition in this movie was done perfectly, honestly, because it was so seamless. It kind of just happened. It came with fluidity. It was like rubbing butter on toast. That's a weird ass analogy, but Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the most important movies in the MCU timeline, and I'm glad it came out the way it did. It's a good movie. Although not perfect, it's good. I'm running out of things to say, to be honest with you, because everyone already knows this movie is good. Everyone knows the characters are great. Everyone knows the villain is not so great. So I think I'm gonna just go ahead and give this thing a score. I've said everything I needed to say, but you guys already know this movie's good. So I'm gonna have to give Guardians of the Galaxy a score of 7 out of 10. The movie's good, and it's so rewatchable. It is so rewatchable. You can watch this movie so many times. It's hilarious. It has action. It has romance. It has comedy. Although the action may not be the best, like the dance battle, it's kind of cringe, but it kind of fits the movie, so I don't really mind. Hey, if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, you gotta check it out. If you have, let me know what you thought about it down below. But that's pretty much it for me, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Late.